Hello everyone, welcome to the session of production process 2, and in the last class we have seen the types of chips. Those are continuous chips and the discontinuous chips. In the continuous chips there are two types: continuous chips without built-up edge and continuous chips with built-up edge, and the discontinuous chips. And also we have seen the factors which are responsible for continuous chips without built-up edge and factors which are responsible for continuous chips with built-up edge and the discontinuous chips. Okay. Now in the class, in the today's session, we will begin with the shear angle. Okay. Shear angle. It is a chip, it is a tool, and it is a workpiece. Okay. And here it is a VF chip flow velocity, and here in this direction there is a shear velocity, and here in this direction we have cutting velocity, and this width we call it as a T2, that is a uncut chip thickness. T1 is a uncut chip thickness, and this we call it as a T2. This is cut chip. Okay, chip thickness we call it as, and this angle we call it as a phi. This angle we call it as a phi, and this plane we call it as a shear plane. This plane we call it as a shear plane. Okay, this is a workpiece to train. Okay. I will just write the rotations. T1 means uncut chip thickness, uncut chip thickness. T2 chip thickness, and alpha is a rake angle. Alpha is rake angle, and phi is shear angle. Shear angle, and VC is cutting velocity. VC is cutting velocity, and VS shear velocity. Shear velocity, and VF, V is the fixed is the chip flow velocity. Chip flow velocity. Okay. Now first we will discuss the what is shear angle. Okay. Shear angle phi. What is the shear angle? Shear angle is the shear plane, as we all know. Shear angle is the angle made by the shear plane. This is the angle made by the shear plane with cutting velocity. This is what? Cutting velocity. I repeat, angle made by the shear plane with the cutting velocity, we call it as a shear angle. Okay. Angle made by the shear plane with the cutting velocity, we call it as a shear angle. Okay. So if the shear angle is larger, if the shear angle increases, then the shear plane area, this is shear plane area reduces. Shear plane area reduces. As a result of that, the amount of stress which is induced here, the amount of stress which is required for performing a shearing action here will be less. Amount of shear required for performing a shearing action will be less. As a result of that, the minimum force will be required if you have a higher shear angle. Now, if the shear angle phi, that is the angle between shear plane and the cutting velocity, if this angle reduces, then shear plane area reduces. We will just write here, if shear angle phi increases, then shear plane area reduces. Shear plane area reduces. Okay. If shear angle phi decreases, means if shear angle phi decreases, then shear plane area increases. Now we have these two conditions. The first condition, if the shear angle increases and the shear plane area decreases, then what happens? The amount of stress required to perform a shearing action will be less. Okay, stress required will be less. Yes, the stress required will be higher. Stress required will be higher because larger area means you need a large amount of stress to perform the shearing action. So it is always desirable to have a larger shear angle. So I repeat it again, it's very important. It is always desirable to have a larger shear angle for the better machinability. Okay. So this is about the shear angle. Now another concept is there, that is the chip thickness ratio. So I will write here chip thickness ratio. Chip thickness ratio. Okay. It is also indicated by R. Chip thickness ratio. It is given as, it is the ratio of uncut chip thickness, that is T1 divided by the chip thickness. I repeat it again. Chip thickness ratio R is the ratio of uncut chip thickness to the chip thickness. And what this R indicates physically, this chip thickness ratio index indicates that it indicates the amount of plastic deformation. This chip thickness ratio index R indicates that the amount of plastic deformation has taken place. That is, amount of plastic deformation in conversion of uncut chip thickness into the chip. So whatever the plastic deformation has been taken place, that this chip thickness ratio index gives us. And in the orthogonal machining, we make some assumptions. Okay, so that we will see it here. I will write it here. In this, we make one assumption that whatever the value before machining and after machining are equal. That is, value before machining, value before